In this full-length Afghanistan food marathon, you're gonna see the best.
This is the food that you have to risk being kidnapped in order to try.
And the worst.
We just pulled up to a checkpoint. There's like 7 guys there. They've got like 2 rifles each, and they asked for my passport. I didn't know what's gonna happen.
This country has to offer an American traveler like me.
There was just a giant Ford with the giant turret on the back parked across the street.
From dirt cheap street food in dusty city markets.
This right here is coming in at a wild 98 cents.
All the way to high-end eats only Afghan millionaires can afford.
This is a meal meant to feed, I don't know, 10 to 20 different people. But tonight, it's just me and you, baby.
And by the end of it all, I'll be leaving Afghanistan's capital and crossing dozens of Taliban checkpoints, all in search of the perfect food.
Oh, it's really satisfying. I have a whole new appreciation for shank.
Right now, I've just landed in Kabul.
So far, so good.
I've cleared customs.
They asked if I was a journalist. I said no. They checked a bag quickly, and we moved on.
And I've made it into my heavily guarded 5-star hotel.
Multiple huge barriers just to get into the hotel.
Time to hit the streets and find some dinner. Kabul is Afghanistan's largest, most populous city, home to 4.8 million people, meaning around 10% of the nation lives here. Believe it or not, some tourists do actually come to Afghanistan. They travel here to wander through the 3,500-year-old quarters of the city, where bazaars still bustle with the same chaotic energy as centuries past. Here, nearly any path will eventually lead you to a unique taste of Afghanistan. Like this, a dish made of only hooves and heads.
That is some soft, supple skin. I gotta do this cow's skin routine.
We'll break bread here soon. But first, I'm headed somewhere else to break my fast.
We're gonna be trying Afghan food for the first time in just a moment. But most importantly today, we're gonna get adjusted to how it's actually gonna work here to film video in Kabul. The problem isn't just with officials who don't want you to shoot, but also with the people themselves. From what I've experienced just in the last day, there are certain people who are open to being shot, maybe for a very short time, but many who want nothing to do with the camera at all. But I do have some good news. Behind me, we have our first location, the location where we're gonna be trying our first Afghan food of this trip, and that food is called chainaki. I'm told chainaki means teapot or tea kettle. Chai might sound familiar, like the word chai tea, which means tea. Here, this man is stuffing all of these different ancient-looking tea kettles with mutton. Wali, salam.
Salam alaikum.
Salam alaikum. I don't know what he said, but that sounded very polite.
Wally is a second-generation owner of this 70-year-old eatery, but this cooking technique goes back centuries.
Right here we have a sample tea kettle. He has some different cuts of the sheep, including the dumba, the butt fat meat of the sheep, plus some protein. He stuffs that into the tea kettle.
Water and a pinch of salt follow the sheep meat into the teapots.
The next step is to put dal inside.
Chainaki is food of Afghanistan's nomads, folks who valued portable, practical cooking methods, the type of people who don't mind the taste of sheep fat tainting their morning tea.
We're moving on to our next ingredient right here. This is a combination of tomato and onion.
Even after centuries of cookware innovation, a humble clay teapot remains the best choice for chainaki. Its snug lid traps steam, while its thick walls retain heat, allowing the dish to slow cook for hours at the perfect temperature.
You will actually see there is a wood oven underneath with a fire inside, providing all the heat to these tea kettles right here.
Over the next couple of hours, Wally will be busy tilting, tapping, and timing each teapot, all to ensure each one produces the perfect result. But that is just our protein. In Afghanistan, a meal is not a meal without Afghan bread.
Right now we're in the Afghan bread making factory, making one of the most popular types of bread they have in this country, and this stuff is delicious. In the back of this room, there's literally a bathtub full of dough. Sometimes I'll use a bathtub as a funny form of measurement, like could I have 3 bathtubs full of gravy, please? There's an actual bathtub. The gentleman in the back, he pulls out big globs of dough. He weighs them, and then he forms them into nice, smooth dough balls. Right here, this is where the texture happens. This gentleman right here is flattening the bread, and then on this side, he's kind of perforating the bread, so it'll be easier to tear apart later. Now this guy is doubling up. He's got 2 big slabs of already perforated dough, so his job is just to put moisture on the pillow and put that dough into the oven. You're so quick, you hit the camera. Well done. Handshake? Ah! The fist bump, it never got to Afghanistan, unfortunately. This oven's about 12 or 13 feet deep. It is freaking huge. It is like a big sphere. The fire heats up all the clay on the surface of the tandoor. After 4 or 5 minutes, the bread is finished. And then comes this guy. His job is just to take out the already finished bread. Ooh. Okay, I thought it was his job. I guess this guy's doing double duty. Ooh. Oh my God. All right, so right here we have some fresh bread. Beautiful, golden, brown, flaky. This looks incredible. And it smells even better. Those perforated edges makes it easy to tear, and it stops all the bread from bubbling up into one big bread bubble. Nobody wants that. This is literally what it means to break bread. Let me try to feed this guy. I think that's normal here. Either I get slapped or he takes a nice big bite. Here, do you want some bread? There we go. It's a country where men aren't afraid to be men. They're very comfortable with each other. Amazing. When it's fresh out of the oven, it's light, it's crackery, airy, and just full of fresh bread flavor. As good as this is alone, we are gonna actually be pairing it with that chai naki, which is almost done now. About 3 hours have passed since this started cooking. Now it's time to unveil the final product. Wally, take it away. He peels back this blanket that I guess was helping to hold in the steam and the heat. Boom, there it is. Still absolutely boiling and bubbling away. You can see the meat is really cooked. It's kind of shrunk down. That dumba that's inside has turned the broth into an oily tomato fusion. From here, there's nothing left to do but head to the table and eat. All right, folks, this is our first meal in Afghanistan and I cannot wait. First of all, it is a tea kettle. I am curious if we're able to pour some broth out. Absolutely not. I think the tea kettle may be clogged. Oh, do you want to take over? All right, he's gonna help me shake it out all the way. Thank you. The food here has undergone quite a transformation. The tomato and the onion have combined with that dumba fat to make a thick, fatty sauce. Here's the thing, no silverware. This is gonna be our eating utensil right here. I wanna start with this sauce that's been made by boiling all those ingredients together. Oh man, that's perfect. People always talk about including acid if you're eating something heavy. So of course we have this rich meat and this rich fat, and he's cut it with tomato sauce. So it's not overwhelming, it's not overly fatty. And the smell of dumba is ever present. Dumba is a type of sheep, but it's also a part of that sheep. And they're using the dumba, that butt fat, inside of this dish. It's like very lamby, sheepy, but in a good way. That's just the sauce though. If you look deeper, we've got big chunks of meat. After hours of braising, that meat should have become soft and tender. This is why I came to Afghanistan. That meat, it's super soft, tender, and fatty. The dal adds a little bit of body to it, and it helps thicken everything up. Right here we have some bone. I'm gonna peel that meat off the bone. Amazing. I know why this shop has been here for 70 years. They're doing something that makes customers very happy. It's very satisfying. This is the food that you have to risk being kidnapped in order to try. This is worth at least 3 months of captivity. 2 years? I don't know. Let's see what else we can find here.
Just outside the Chainaki shop, I stumble into Mandawi, Kabul's busiest open-air market. Here, I plan to search out ingredients that'll come together as this video's final meal.
Boom, right there, the cow head.
But as I merge into the crowd, things take a turn when a man equipped with a rifle grabs my arm.
They're asking for our permit. Let's talk about filming in Afghanistan. As I said earlier, we have permission to be here. Our permit is really focused around food and culture, but there were 2 things they told us to kind of stay away from. And those 2 things are military and women. The military stuff makes sense. They don't want us filming any military equipment, any officers, any officials. Women, it's another sensitive thing. Coming here, I thought I would see 0 women. Instead, I've seen some, but in general, the best move is to not film them, to not focus the camera on them, and just focus on the guys. Are there enough guys to film? Oh, there's plenty of guys. With breakfast complete, I've just stepped out of the restaurant. The restaurant is located in Mandawi Market, but exclusively on this road is a special bird market. This is a place where people bring birds of all kinds, all different species, from tiny songbirds to giant freaking turkeys. Right here, oh my God, look at the size of this rooster right here. Very beautiful bird. This man either bought this bird or he plans on selling it soon, but we'll never know for sure because there's a little bit of a communication gap. From morning to now, these streets have gotten absolutely packed. Some people are stationary with their birds. Some are carrying them around, hoping that someone will see their beautiful specimen and buy it off of them. Wow. Take a look at this beautiful specimen. What I'm told is that this is meant to be a pet. I've never seen anybody in the USA with a bird this big as a pet. Here you got it, Afghanistan style.
Mandawi market has thrived in Kabul's northern edge for over a century. Born of Silk Road caravans and royal decrees, today its winding lanes still pulse with that old world energy.
Right here we have two superstars for Afghanistan's premier athletic endeavor. I'm talking about cockfighting.
Two different levels, I cannot relate.
Since the Taliban has taken over, this is actually kind of a haram sport. It's not something that's exactly legal, but it's something that continues in the shadows. I mean, all these roosters, they're out, they're in the open. People know what's going on, but the actual fighting, that happens in very secretive locations. We probably won't see that while we're here.
Almost every face you see in this market is a man's. Turbaned elders, young laborers, and plainclothes Taliban whose rifles hang just out of sight. One such man stops me on my way.
Oh, they're asking for our permit.
Here in Kabul, the uncommon sight of an American standing in front of a camera crew is bound to create suspicion. As this is our first day with boots on the ground, I'm still sizing up how big of a challenge the Taliban will present.
Okay, thank you. Wow. I think that's going to be kind of a routine while we're here in Afghanistan, but everything so far, so good.
So far, I've spent the morning feeling out Afghanistan's unspoken borders, testing the limits of where I can go, what I can say, and in which direction our lenses can shoot. Then I ran into these guys, a group of Americans.
My parents immigrated from Afghanistan to America in the late 80s. Myself, my brothers, we were all born and raised in California, spent our whole lives there. So it's been 45 plus years since my parents have been back. So we thought we'll take a little family trip, and we're here for the first time, and we leave in a couple days.
What were your feelings coming here for the first time, especially after the changes this country's undergone in the last couple of years?
Initially, we were a little bit, hesitant. We're like, what's gonna happen, since it was our first time coming here too. But once we landed, just, all we saw were hospitable people. Even this vendor right here, we were trying to haggle with him a little bit on the clothing. He's like, you know what, just take it if you want.
Nothing that we heard about Afghanistan on the news in America was accurate.
From my own perspective, I wouldn't say Afghanistan is nothing like what you hear about in the news. It's at least something like what you've heard.
Literally a week ago, there's reports of tourists who were held in captivity for 2 years before being let go. I mean, what do you make of that?
I honestly don't know what happened. I don't know those politics of it, and that's in the back of everybody's mind.
Crossing paths with fellow Americans who have navigated Kabul without issue does put me more at ease. Still, a nagging feeling tells me they blend in here much more than I ever could.
Coming to the end of the bird market will bring you here to where you will find the absolute biggest birds you'll find anywhere in Afghanistan. These right here are turkeys. These are used only for food, and they are absolutely massive and juicy. Look at that. It doesn't look like my ball sack. I wasn't going to say that. That's definitely it's not like that at all.
Despite the turkey's impressive appearance, I'm looking for something even bigger.
All right, folks, we have officially arrived at the meat market. Right here, he is toasting up some sheep heads. This is for a dish that in Iran is called kale poche, head and hoof. They take the sheep head, they take the sheep hooves, and they braise it for hours until the meat is falling off the bone.
This is a hearty stew that dates back over 3,000 years to ancient Persia. It began as a resourceful dish created by nomads who wasted nothing from their livestock.
It's actually a dish that I tried when I was in Tehran, but here in Afghanistan, they have a plus-size version of kale poche. Take a look at this. Much bigger than a sheep hoof. This is, in fact, the hoof of a cow. They're absolutely massive. My plan is actually to buy a couple of these cow feet, and then they're gonna process them here. Sir, you've got some nice feet.
Before landing in the stew pot, the hoof's hard outer shell is peeled off. Then the rest of our trotter is broken down by our street side butcher. But the hooves are only half the recipe.
All right, folks, I've discovered the missing ingredient to our head and hoof. Boom, right there, the cow head. When you make kale poche, the sheep head, you can cook the whole thing. You can braise it, it'll cook all the way through. But this is like 7 times the size. So this is gonna have to be split into tiny sections or else it'll never cook through.
Once they reach the restaurant, the cow's head and trotters are thoroughly washed and dropped into a pot of broth. There, they simmer for 12 hours until all the meat becomes soft.
Sir, what's your name?
My name is Mohammed Akram.
Mohammed.
Yeah.
This man is the kale poche master. He is a master of everything above the neck and below the ankle. Anything in between, go somewhere else. Let's talk about the magic of this dish. This is a magical broth that only is created after boiling a ton of sheep and a bunch of cow. And all the fattiness from those animals has leaked into this super rich broth. So that's gonna be the base for this dish. Right here we have some skin. Actually, this is some of the side of the cow head that you see right here. That is some soft, supple skin. I gotta do this cow's skin routine. Right here, if you couldn't guess, we have parts of the hoof and ankle here. So you can see the bone, the skin, the tendon. As time goes by, the more you braise it, the softer it gets and the more delicious it becomes. Another ingredient right here, that's the brain. And then this is a beef. I'm told this is actually the interior of the cheek. That looks soft, tender, and delicious too. In a moment, he's gonna actually put this dish together. It all starts with a base of bread.
Mohammed soaks the bread in a rich sauce, then removes the excess. He layers on every cow part we saw earlier, rehydrating them with a splash of broth before pouring some of it off. Into a ladle, he stirs in minced garlic and green chilies, then pours the aromatic mixture over the mound of meat and fat. Finally, he tops it with beef tallow. But before I dive into this beautiful bowl of beef bits, here's a little side adventure you can dive into right from your phone.
I've teamed up with DraftKings to tell you about Huff and More Puff, which is exactly as absurd as it sounds. In this game, pigs fly, wolves blow stuff down, and your only job is to win big. And when I say big, I mean ridiculously big. DraftKings really hit the mark when it comes to Huff and Puff. If you're new to it, here's the deal. Play just $5 and you'll get 500 spins. That's 50 spins a day for 10 days. If your first day doesn't exactly go as planned, DraftKings has you covered with the first day replay, up to $1,000 in casino credits. Huff and Puff is all about having fun while you spin. It's got all the excitement of a high-stakes game without the stress of wondering what the heck is going on. You can hit bonus rounds, score extra spins, and even unlock rewards as you go. If DraftKings Casino is not available in your state, don't sweat it. You can still jump in with DraftKings Daily Fantasy, where you can compete for real cash prizes. Just sign up with the promo code BEFRS and you are in. Download the DraftKings Casino app, get spinning, and see if you can blow down the house before the wolf does. Now, back to the show. This is our final meal of the day, and it is an absolutely heavy one. I think we need to cut that heaviness a little bit, so we have these little bitty lemons right here. That's gonna really lighten up those flavors. This is the beef cheek. Ooh, look how much that's braised and broken down. I'm just gonna eat it straight up. Cheers. Interesting. First of all, beware of bone shards. Did you see how they prepared the head? They just took an axe to it. I mean, it's not exactly a science. If you're not getting bones, the meat itself is soft, it's tender, it's heavy. Adding the lemon gives it a note of sourness, which is nice, but it's not flavorful like that food that we had earlier, like the chai naki. This is part of the hoof section. There's just so much going on here. I'm not even sure what is what. Is that some kind of layer of skin? Right here, you can see all those little joints, big, heavy, collagen-filled sections of the hoof. Let's try this. That looks kind of like some beef tendon. It's good. It's nice with the seasonings he's put on there, the cumin and some of that chili powder. Oh my God, that is heavy. This is not meant to be a balanced dish. This is known as a very energy-packed food. This is for men who are ready and willing to go to war, which hopefully is not gonna be the case while we're here in the Taliban-run Afghanistan. To break up some of that heaviness, I wanna dig deeper into the bread section. I've never had bread that just tastes so rich. It's really just taken on all the best flavors of this dish. This is the Afghan version of buttered bread. I think we could mix and match a little bit because right here we have some brain. The brain is basically pure fat. So I want to put the brain on top and try that all together. Maybe it'll balance out. Now, I do want to point out one thing. In a second, the camera guy is going to turn the camera 180 and you're going to see a bunch of old guys watching me eat right over there. Hello. Overall, people here are very curious as to what the heck I'm doing here. When I tell them I'm from the USA, I get anything from like, cool, love the USA, to, did you hear that? Anyways, let's give it a shot. Too big of a bite. The brain becomes kind of like a brain paste sticking to the interior of my mouth. The bread is the best part. Oddly enough, the stuff on top, the meat, the tendon, all of that, not very flavorful. But when you get down into that bread, that's where the magic happens. So this is my final meal of the day, but today is my first really full experience of Afghanistan, especially going out into the city here in Kabul. People in general seem much more open to being filmed than I expected them to be. They want to watch, they want to participate, they want us to film them. At the same time, we did have some different police and officials checking us here and there, but it was nothing that lasted more than a few seconds, and it was never done in any kind of rude way. It was just procedure. Today went much better than I expected. At the same time, I want to say that that's just today. that doesn't guarantee anything for the future. All it takes is one stupid person, one a-hole to absolutely ruin your life. And so it's best to be smart, to not push boundaries, perhaps not to go everywhere around the country. We're mainly going to be staying here in Kabul, and by the end of this journey, we'll be traveling to one other city for one special food. But that marks the end of today.
After hitting the streets in Kabul, I've had my first taste of Afghanistan and I'm ready for more.
An entire freaking chicken that costs only $4.90. That is how much chickens used to cost in the USA.
Next, I'm heading back into the fray to take on Afghan street food on a mission to see if I can spend over $100.
Usually he would serve about 6 dumplings. This is a double portion, about 50 cents. Not bad.
Is this mission impossible?
This should be our most expensive dish of the day because it's full of meat.
Time to find out. Mandawi Market, Kabul. A place where a wrong turn down maze-like back alleys could lead you to an unwanted checkpoint with you-know-who. Here among the chaotic streets, one smell cuts through the diesel and dust. Bolani is Afghanistan's most wanted street bite. To make it, first a vendor plunges bare hands into a metal basin, water, wheat flour, and salt. He kneads fast in anticipation of the crowd soon to form. Dough balls hit the counter, flattened into discs the size of a steering wheel. Next comes the covert cargo, mashed potato blitzed with cumin, turmeric, masala, and a shake of red chili flakes. He slides each parcel into a cauldron of screaming oil. No thermometers, no alarms or timers, but 30 seconds too long and the whole batch burns.
And just like that, our $100 challenge has begun here in Afghanistan. Guys, hold on. There's a whole small village of Afghan men who have just arrived to my set. The extras are late. They're supposed to be in the background pretending to work. Now, if I'm honest, the chance of me hitting $100, it's 50-50. The food here, kind of on the cheap side. This is the more expensive version of this dish, and it's still really cheap. For all you see, this big doughy masterpiece, 30 Afghanis. But other vendors on the street, they're selling it for 10. So that's almost 10 cents. Ridiculous. Let's get into this. If you flip it on this side, you can actually see the seam, like looking at the center of your jeans. I'm just gonna eat it straight up. My first bite. Cheers. At first he fries it, it gets a little crispy, and he stacks them on top of each other that they start to kind of steam each other, so it gets soft in the end. Aside from the fried bread, you can taste the potato inside. I think the potato is meant to give it some body, but if you really want some more flavor, you have to use this chutney over here. Ooh, that's explosive. I'm told it has coriander, garlic, green chilies, and tomato. It is really brutally spicy. I kind of like it though. So I'm gonna give my bread a little bit of a dip. Dipping it in the chutney is a completely different experience. It really scorches your throat. Meanwhile, it gets the bread soggy, which I don't hate. If this is too spicy and you need some sweet relief, they've got this right here. This is like the bomb right here, and this is the bomb squad. Too many bomb references, I think, for where I am right now.
Meet Dukh Ekher, Afghanistan's unofficial air conditioner in a cup. First, the sting of diced cucumber hits the bottom of a tall glass. Next comes a scoop of thick, creamy yogurt, followed by liquid yogurt mixed with dried minced mint.
If you've ever had tzatziki sauce from Turkey, that kind of yogurt sauce that has cucumber and garlic inside, it's kind of like that. Cold, cool, refreshing. That is the perfect pair to go with this super fiery chutney soup over here.
This isn't the only improvised edible device we'll be dealing with today. Ahead of us, 7 more street-side dishes, including Afghanistan's national dish, a truly gigantic ticking protein bomb waiting for us at the end of this video.
Before I finish my first breakfast of the day, I want to give you a little bit of an update of how things are going here in Afghanistan. Now, yesterday was our first day out in the city. I didn't know what to expect, but actually in the end, everything went better than I thought it would have. People were very curious. The general population seemed pretty okay with us filming them. Nobody really were trying to shut what we're doing down. A lot of people here for me to talk about the Taliban, but what I'm told is a big difference from before and after the Taliban took over here is that now there's a lot more regulation and there is more checkpoints. Can I talk about this? It's like
sounds good and safe. It's safer than it used to be.
It's much safer now.
Yeah.
A gentleman in the crowd. You're from Kabul?
From Kabul.
Since arriving, I've heard from several locals that the country has become much safer since the Taliban took over. Maybe that's because the group that was once terrorizing the state is now the state. Though it makes me wonder, what's the safety being traded for?
We have worked our way deeper into Mandawi Market, and this place is wild. Here there are a bunch of gentlemen who have pre-made a soup. They brought it, and then they scoop it up for patrons who sit down around them like we are right now. What I like about this eating style is it's just super quick and on the go. This is our guy right here, Gorban, and that is his delicious soup. This is a dish known as Shoutout. It's creamy, and there are noodles inside.
These are wheat noodles. They're served in a warm, hearty soup simmered with tender chickpeas, a pinch of salt, and a sprinkle of freshly chopped coriander.
From here, he puts on a couple of other toppings. This is a spicy, sour red sauce, similar to Indian achar, and then we have some dry mint as well. The price is about 27 cents, very affordable. The broth is very thick, white, and creamy, and that is a special broth made from something called kashk. It's like condensed dairy that becomes hard like chalk, and then they rehydrate it with water, and it becomes a creamy sauce like this. Beyond that, he's got giant spoons that he serves you. I think so you eat faster and leave faster. Oh yeah, some good competition for Kraft macaroni and cheese. Wow, that bite was mixing with some of that spicy, sour red sauce. It's got some kick. The mint gives it a little bit of an earthy flavor. I can't believe how good it is. In a way, it's kind of like baby food. I mean, the noodles are super soft. You could just press your tongue against the roof of your mouth rather than chewing them. They're that soft. Good? Good. Should we do a little? Nice. People in this country, solid hats, all kinds of hats. And the hats kind of denote what region the people are from. As far as I understand, if you see a man and you see his hat, you go, oh, that guy's from that area. What do you think of my bandana? Very cool, or? Yeah, all right. Really? Thank you.
Next stop, a street side stall where you can trade a fistful of coins for a feast. This is manto, a food that's usually paired with celebration.
This is a fascinating food because you can find it in so many places. In Korea, they call it mandu. In Kazakhstan, they call it manti. Here, they call it manto. All of them are different forms of dumplings.
In Seoul, they pack it with pork. In Kazakhstan, lamb or even horse. But here, our street side chef rewrites the script, loading each wrapper with sautéed sweet onions. But what these dumplings lack in protein, they make up for with a twisted, chaotic storm of toppings. A heaping spoon of stewed red kidney beans, a glossy drizzle of tangy kashk yogurt sauce, a fiery splash of red pepper chutney, a few shakes of dried masala, and one final pinch of salt to fuse the chaos into harmony.
Usually he would serve about 6 dumplings. This is a double portion, about 50 cents. Not bad. I'm gonna give it a try now. I feel a little shy. Saeed's right next to me. He's gonna be watching me. He keeps making me shake his wrist. I want to shake his hand. The fillings are almost imperceptible. It is very salty. The wheat wrapper is nice. It's got a little bit of bite to it. Everything else, it's very sour. That spicy sour sauce that we had previously on the soup, they're putting the same thing on top of here, and it really dominates all the flavor. I'm gonna try to crack one of these open and see the interior. There's potentially some onion in there. There are some tricks of the trade when you're trying to make a food very affordable like this, but very flavorful. What he's lacking in flavor that you might be getting from meat or dumba, he's trying to make up for it with all the masalas and chutneys. Dashakor. Thank you. How about the hand? Yes. No. Yeah. Oh, like this? I was doing it around the whole time. All right, folks, it is 12:44. It is lunchtime, and this is a substantial feast. It's liver. First of all, my guy right here has the big tawa. I guess that's what you would call it in India. On the side, French fries. Potentially, I'm in the way. No? When he prepares this for each person, he puts the liver in the center and he combines it with a couple of special ingredients. Let's see if he'll do it now for us. So now he brings the liver to the center. He takes some of the grease that the fries are frying in. Boom! Minced garlic, just like that. He minces the chili into tiny little pieces. That is pure flavor. The tomatoes and the liver, those are the main ingredients for everything you see here. It goes on the plate. He hits it with a little bit of cabbage. He hits it with a little bit of dry masala, and then he hands it to his customer, which is me. Sir? Where do you? Sir? Tashakur. Thank you. Right here we have our most substantial food of the day. That is jigar. Also, a new bread just dropped. This looks very similar to the bread we saw baked in the bakery in the last video. It even has the perforated stripes here for easy tearing, and it has the same texture. It just has a different kind of oblong shape to it. Let's talk about the price. This should be our most expensive dish of the day because it's full of meat. This right here is coming in at a wild 98 cents. That's it. It's pretty remarkable. We've got bread, we've got a micro salad, and we've got a lot of animal liver, all for under $1. Not a bad deal. My first move right here, tear the bread. Oh, it's so satisfying. This is our utensil right here. There we go. Looking nice and greasy. Cheers. not bad. You know, liver can be dry. It can be even chalky sometimes. That's pretty good, pretty moist, very seasoned, super heavy and greasy. Liver, especially mutton liver, not my absolute favorite food, but what he's done here, it's nice. Aside from the liver, they just give you a little side of cabbage here. No. I tried to do a cheers with this guy. I got denied. Cheers?
No, that is haram.
I didn't know that's haram, just a cheers. I mean, there's no booze in here. Is there? That would be nice. No, just yogurt drink. So far we've had 4 foods, and honestly I don't think we've even cracked $2, but I am not stopping now. We must keep moving food by food until we hit $100 in Afghanistan. Boom, we're on to our next street food right here. A curious combination of 3 ingredients: green onion, boiled potato, and right here some boiling chickpeas. That is gonna be the main body for this dish. Let's get into it. It all starts with a bowl. He puts in some boiled shredded potato. He moves over to here. He grabs some chickpeas. Next, green onions going on top. Now it's time for the flavor. Let's put it up here. I'll hold it for you. He puts on a little bit of red chutney, dry masala, and finally some salt. Wait, there's more? The final step, something I've not seen used yet today, white vinegar. All of that combined makes one of the most unique salads you'll find, at least here on this street. There's so many people here now. What's happening? Thank you, sir. Boom! Food number 1000. I'm not sure where we are. I lost track. Luckily, I have these people helping me. Hi, how you doing? This right here is a curious combination of ingredients. I mean, the main body of the food would definitely be the chickpeas, but then there's that potato underneath, soaking up all that flavor. Now, here's what I've noticed here. As far as seasonings go, anything wet, they call a chutney. Anything dry, they call a masala. From there, they don't really sweat the details. I'm gonna get this combination, a little bit of potato, a little bit of chickpea. I think it's gonna be super sour from that apple cider vinegar. Let's give it a shot. Oh, not what I expected at all. That's pretty good. It's simple, but it's like comfort food. Considering he put in chutney and vinegar, I thought it was gonna be really sour, like some of the dishes I've had here. But it's not sour at all. This liquid here, it's become like a broth. That's, I think, from those boiling chickpeas. Super satisfying. The food we had yesterday, the kale poche, like pure fat, that's energy packed in a different way. This is energy packed with beans, carbs, but it's not doused in animal fat. Overall, a big surprise. You gotta give it up for Afghanistan.
As an American walking among Afghans in Mandawi Market, I really don't blend in. A lot of folks here speak English, and when they ask me where I'm from, their reactions range from enthusiastic to shocked. But Afghans are well aware of how their country is perceived by the rest of the world, and many are hungry to share a different, more hopeful story.
You're from Afghanistan?
Absolutely.
Are there many Americans that come here as tourists?
Few, but most of British people come here.
If somebody comes here, they're a tourist, and they say, oh, I'm American, that's okay?
It's okay. We feel proud to have tourism around us, so they could explore our country or get our message to their country or to their relative countries. So it's great.
And what is your message?
Our message is to come here and explore our country. It's a very good country, and the people are good. They are kind, and they are very generous people.
Pleasure meeting you.
Same here, same here.
Take care. We have our next street food right here, and this is a wild one. This time instead of liver, we have cow stomach. That's right, the minced stomach is already coated with a dry seasoning blend with over 10 spices. And then he adds in a little tomato, and that's it. I'm gonna order right now and see what happens. First, he brings out some of the stomach, he heats it up, he puts it on the plate, he gives it a bit of a smash, boom, and there it is. If I'm honest, I thought there was gonna be more steps. All right, folks, let's get into it. Cow stomach. It's not pretty, but it's not meant to be. Come take a look. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, the cow stomach is a very fatty organ, so if you hit it against some hot steel, it could get kind of crunchy. It could create a nice Maillard reaction. So I'm gonna break some bread, and we scoop up some of that meat. That is some intense looking meat. Let's give it a shot. It's like Afghan chitlins. I don't hate it. This is not a food for the uninitiated. If your favorite food is Chipotle, this is not gonna be for you. It's got some game to it. It would knock most Americans on their feet. There's some smoky flavors in there. There's some fattiness. It's very rich. They got these little masala ashtrays on all the tables. It looks like craters inside because every guy who's been in here before you has been putting their fingers directly into the masala and putting it onto their food. But all right, this is the Afghan way. I want to hit it with some of this. I believe this is cumin and a little bit of salt too. Jump on board the masala train, my friends. A little bit more punch. I like it. This would pair perfectly with beer. And I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna find one nearby. Can I? That should be the ultimate conquest of this series.
These little meat morsels didn't make a dent in my wallet, so I need to search out something bigger, what some might call the culinary pride of Afghanistan.
You see, other restaurants, you might go and just get some rice, but here, on top of that rice, they're gonna give you a big chunk of meat like what you see here.
But before that, I'm headed to a place where chicken is roasted upright, like soldiers in formation. Here, men tend the grill, and men line up to eat. So, where are the women?
Here's the situation. You know, you read a lot of stuff about the gender situation in Afghanistan before you come here, and then it's a little bit different once you get here.
When the US withdrew and the Taliban took over in 2021, they implemented something called Sharia law, a strict Islamic legal system that even outlaws music. I heard women can only travel with a male relative, but at least in Kabul, I've seen women moving alone and with other women.
On the streets so far, I've noticed maybe 20% of the people are women. Not all of them have to be covered up. I mean, there's women walking around just with the hijab on, and there's plenty walking around with what they call the Afghan burqa. I'm not sure what the rules are. I think they have to wear some kind of covering, but it doesn't have to be a burqa.
I heard girls don't receive secondary education, and that's true. Some say the Taliban is just waiting to create the appropriate curriculum, while others admit it'll likely never happen. What's clear is that any topics around women are extremely sensitive.
I met a family today who was Afghan British. They're from the UK, but they came back to visit Afghanistan. They knew my channel, they said hello, and I said, hey, could I take some video of you? And the mother, an Afghan woman wearing a hijab, said, no, it's against the rules. So, evidently, there are some rules.
We ourselves have been told and warned many times not to even film women. By the rules of those who have permitted us to film here, it's like they'd prefer you to not even know Afghan women exist.
So the issue, I would say, is very complicated. From here, I intend to take on Afghanistan's national dish, a dish known as halal. We're headed there, not next, but after that. I thought I'd seen chicken grilled every way possible around the world, but that was until I came here to Afghanistan.
The Afghan way of grilling chicken starts with a pool of marinade made of yogurt, MSG, salt, dried ginger, red chilies, wine vinegar, and water. The chickens are soaked in that flavorful bathtub for a couple of hours.
The chicken, already marinated, goes onto this giant steak. One by one, he then ties the string around its ankles, and he tying the string around the chicken's ass. Ugh. This is gonna anchor the chicken to the pole. Now, when preparing this food in Afghanistan, it's important that all the chickens are beheaded. I don't make the rules. All right, folks, it is time for the chicken grilling to begin. From here, he pushes each steak down into this dirt and ash. And now that he has finished building his wall of chicken, it's time to start the fire and get these babies roasting.
When the chicken blazes a molten orange, it's pulled from its vertical spit. Split the chicken open, flatten it onto a rack, then give it a quick grill over charcoal for that extra hit of smoky flavor. Once hot, it's tossed onto a plate where it receives a sprinkle of chicken masala, a bowl of yogurt, and a handful of shredded cabbage.
Wow, you would never believe it, but there was just a giant Ford F-150, the giant turret on the back parked across the street. All right, welcome to Kabul, baby. What? Chicken. An entire freaking chicken that costs only $4.90. That is how much chickens used to cost in the USA. Now to get that same deal, I have to fly all the way to Kabul. I'm gonna start right here. The breast has no fat. If the breast is juicy, then you know that dark meat's gonna be real nice. Let's give it a shot. That is one of the driest chicken breasts I've ever had in my life. And the way he's cooked it, he's stuck his tongs in there, he's really flattened it out. And I get it, the goal is to cook it all the way through, but he's really tried it out at the same time. Luckily, I have this yogurt with some herbs and other stuff inside. That is spicy, oh my God. So that was a bit of a brutal start. Right here we have the chicken thigh. It is much more difficult to mess up a thigh. Well, I'm gonna give it a little bit of a dip in the sauce. That's actually very nice. I would say the two most remarkable things about this are, first of all, the price, but also the way they make it. It's so cool. At this point, I've seen chicken made at least 100 different ways. Even when I was in Thailand with Mark Wiens, they used an oil can to cover chickens on steaks, and they used grass to burn around those oil cans until the chicken inside cooked all the way through. There is no end to what you can do with a chicken, and this is just more proof of that here in Afghanistan.
For our Afghan street food finale, I'm visiting a family-run restaurant that's been serving Afghanistan's national dish for 24 years.
We have arrived at our final location, where they're serving up a dish known here as halal. But let me back up a second. Central Asia is really known for this food. I've had it in Uzbekistan, where they call it plov, and I've also had it in Kazakhstan. But here in Afghanistan, they make it a little bit differently. We're gonna head into the kitchen to see how it's done. Under here is a deep pan, and inside of it, there is over 125 pounds of beef. From here, he's gonna pop off the lid, and we're gonna see the beef inside. Oh. Not at all what I expected. It's so watery. Every time I've seen plov or palau, the meat is seared and then kind of steamed. But here, it's been boiled for a few hours. The first and most crucial step. He's removing all the big meat chunks from this pan. Right now, he's separating it according to the body part. So he's putting some on this plate, he's putting some in this pot right here. Once all of it is organized and removed, he's gonna be able to remove the small bones that have fallen off the meat during this braising process. Now that our deg is clean, it is time to build up the palau, starting with a thin layer of carrots to insulate the pan from the meat. The next step is dumping all that clean meat back into the deg. He has to place each piece perfectly so it can balance well with the heat and with the rice. It's a puzzle of protein. Time for the broth. Oh, it smells like a nice beef crock pot. Now it's time to introduce some new ingredients. Up first, the carrot. Next up, he's putting in raisins. And now he leaves for a cigarette. So I thought he was coming out here for a smoke, but no, he came out here to light up the gas stove.
The stove slowly heats up. Finally, the rice, the true hero of this operation, marches to the front lines. Salt and cumin follow as reinforcements. Now, the fire does its work. Afghanistan's palau comes in many forms, each with its own meaty twist. But this one is the crown jewel, rich, meaty rice cooked to perfection.
2 hours has passed, and at last it is time to reveal the final palau product.
This is Kabuli palau.
The rice has steamed up beautifully. Look at these long grains, raisins, the carrots. Now he is making my portion of palau, the biggest portion possible on this platter right here. Starts with steamed rice. He hits it with that giant piece of beef, and then he puts some smaller pieces of beef on the outside. Slowly, he starts to reveal the carrots and raisins. And that, my friends, is the final product. It looks amazing. Let's go try it out. All right, folks, our final meal of the day, here it is, Afghan palau. The way they prepared it here, it's pretty different than what I've seen in other locations. It's more simple, but I love what they're doing with these big chunks of beef. And that is what we're gonna be building up to for this meal. We have the palau, but we have a couple other things here too. First of all, a pickled vegetable. We'll try that later. Right here, Uzbek bread. So I've actually seen this type of bread being made before in Uzbekistan. It's gorgeous. Then there's a plate of beans. Probably they mix this with the rice, but I'm just gonna go beans. British people will go crazy for this. It's just beans from a can. Let's get into our palau, our most expensive meal of the day. This is a double portion and it costs only $10. That's remarkable. Ideally, you want that rice to be absolutely saturated in the fat from the beef and the oil. This place, they are so proud of their oil. The oil they're using, sesame oil. That is what makes this place stand out from the others. The raisins just offer this hit of sweetness. It pairs perfectly with that really heavy rice. The carrot looks beautiful. I'm a big fan. Next, I want to get into smaller pieces of beef. It's so tender, and the fat and the tissues have really broken down, but I gotta say, it's not much flavor. Let's hit it with a little bit of salt. Pablo Escobar over here. Some red chili powder, and a mystery powder. Now we're gonna take another piece. The salt and the seasonings just bring out even more flavor. That's exactly what it was missing. Before we get to this giant piece of meat, I do want to try this. A pumpkin pickle. I've never heard of anything like it. I didn't know a pumpkin could be a pickle. It tastes like a Korean radish that's been boiled. Very sour, one note. It's a nice contrast to everything here. To wash it down, we've got this. Wow. Let's see what wow tastes like. Oh, okay. This is Afghan Mountain Dew. Very sugary. Kind of goes nice with something like this. Next, the meat. The meat is just literally fall off the bone soft. So I'm gonna take a little bit of rice in my hand, some raisins, put the meat on top of it. This is a very good day. Amazing. And that meat is just so beefy, so fatty. Hi.
Unknown to me at the time, my new neighbor to the right is a member of the Taliban.
How you doing?
With his rifle resting just out of frame.
Salam.
Salam to you.
Thank you.
Perhaps that explains why he keeps stealing glances at my crew and me.
How you doing? Are we interrupting you? Okay. This is obviously meant for a group, but I feel like an Afghan king right now. And the bread, I bet it's delicious. So that is Afghan palau, and that is our 8th and final street food of the day. But we still have one thing left to do, and that is adding up all the food throughout the day to see if we spent over $100.
After a day of eating, I didn't come close to hitting my goal of $100. So now it's time to step it up.
This is where the meat really comes to life. You can order heart, you can order liver, you can order sheep, and these meat masters will absolutely make a workout art out of your skewer.
Next, I'll be touring local eateries.
I like that.
Working my way up to Afghanistan's luxurious restaurant for millionaires.
Everything is golden. There are chandeliers everywhere.
But first, some slightly more affordable Afghan fast food.
Good morning and welcome to another beautiful day here in Afghanistan. Today I plan on showing you 4 different levels of food at 4 different price points here in the capital city of Kabul. In our last episode, it was all about the street food. We're getting down and dirty in the alleyways and the markets, getting some of the cheapest food this country has to offer. But this time, it's all about the restaurants. Behind me, our first location. Here they're serving something called an Afghan burger. Is it gonna resemble a burger? Absolutely not. Let's go check it out. This is what Afghanistan calls a burger. This is my guy, Ahmad. He is the inventor of this burger. Everything begins with this thin layer of bread, and then he moves on to a hard-boiled egg. Boom! Beef sausage. Then he moves on to something almost alien to me. I'm told this is called chicken ham. This is a ham that is acceptable and halal. Puts a little bit of salad onto each one. A load of these French fries. Now he hits it with some masala. Then he hits it with some salt.
The Afghan burger came to life 21 years ago when this restaurant first opened its doors.
Once the burger is finished, it goes to this man right here, and he puts on a white sauce plus a red sauce.
Back then, it was an instant hit, and it's still going strong now, selling around 2,000 burgers each day.
You don't have to get a burger if you don't want to. You can just do something like this. You can get a plate full of fries, and they'll smother that with toppings as well. Please say the word burger.
Burger.
Does that sound like burger? One more time.
Burger.
Nice. This is a ridiculously affordable
Burger.
$1.12. First, let's talk about this. I love a nice red wiener like this. How is it so bright red? That's what I would like to know. But that is not even the most strange meat on this plate. They call it chicken ham. This is some kind of a processed meat loaf. Perhaps the meat is chicken, but it's certainly not any slice of chicken, and it's not any type of cured ham. But not bad. Next point, Afghanistan. How do they do French fries? Well, oh, it's so limp. When I see them, you know, they look so golden. They fry them in big batches. They pull them out, and I'm so excited for a nice, satisfying crunch, and I get just kind of a soggy, wet bite. So from here, let's move on to this.
The burger.
I also want to hit this with even more sauce. I gotta say, that was a very satisfying bite. The heat of the French fries has worked to kind of steam the bread around it, so all the bread is very soft. Somehow I didn't even get a single piece of the wiener. This tomato ketchup is really bringing it all together. Let's give it another bite. It's beefy, it's got some bite to it, it's fluorescent red. So that's just about all there is to this. It's about 800 calories of pure Afghan indulgence. I mean, it's greasy fries. Even the hot dog and the chicken ham, they're also fried. But then they put a little bit of salad in there for fiber to help you later on the commode. This is our very first food and a great entry because today I want to show you a different side of Afghanistan. Before coming here, I didn't really know what to expect. You just see war-torn images of this country when you watch the news. You see rubble, you see chaos. But then you come here and you realize there's a whole lifestyle here that people in the outside world are completely unaware of. So far you got to see what it was like for me to first arrive in this country. Then you got to see the street food scene in the markets. And yes, you can find super cheap food on the streets, but there's also another side of Afghanistan, and that is the lifestyle of the super rich.
While most Afghans scrape by on a few dollars a day, others do live the rich life by comparison. But here the rich life can mean earning as little as $30,000 a year, with a tiny few making up to 6 figures. But 6 figures in a country like this means living like a millionaire.
I did some research. Let's talk about some of those industries. Most of the high earners in this country have made money through imports or exports, construction, real estate, banking, mining, natural resources, political connections or corruption, or the drug trade. Maybe a bit social of an area to talk about these topics.
Later, we'll be taking on a dish so expensive, it costs more than what the average Afghan person earns in a month.
If you're somebody who can't really choose, here you go.
But before that, one of this country's most iconic foods.
All right, folks, we have come to our next location. Right behind me, you can see this place is in full action.
It's meat, it's on a skewer, it's grilled to smoky perfection. Kebabs are everywhere. Each place puts its own spin on the classic. But I've never been anywhere that does it quite like Afghanistan.
Welcome to the Meat Locker. This is the birthplace of the kebab in this restaurant, and every hour, these guys are making thousands of skewers. Right now, they're making two different kinds. The first, this is the beef meatball. So we have kind of a mix of masala and spices blended together, and that ball goes onto the skewer. In between the balls, he puts one ball, he puts one bell pepper, he puts one more ball. On this side, we have more like a steak kebab. First they put beef, then they put beef fat, and then they put even more protein. Here I can say, at least at this restaurant, the kebabs are very small, but what people do is they order a lot of them. It would not be unusual to see somebody eat 10 to 25 kebabs for one person. How many kebabs could you eat?
Okay.
See? What about you? How many kebabs could you eat? Exactly. My point has been proven.
Once skewered, the kebabs meet their final fate, huddled over blazing charcoal, embraced by the smoky grill.
This is the grill, and this is where the meat really comes to life. Over 30 feet of charcoal grilling meat madness. On here, we've got those two skewers we saw already, plus you can order heart, you can order liver, you can order sheep, whatever you want. And these meat masters will absolutely make a work of art out of your skewer. This guy's laughing at me because he's just out here all day. Basically, his job, his lunch shift is the same as smoking 500 packs of cigarettes, and he loves it. He's having a great time. The best part is he actually does still smoke too. This is not enough smoke. He is smoking on top of the smoke.
Today, I'll be trying this restaurant's 3 signature kebabs: the beef meatball, the beef steak threaded with beef fat, and the tender lamb kebab.
Let's talk about the price, because that's the part that's most shocking to me. For all these skewers and everything you see right here, it's $5.60. Remarkable. Right here, the bread. A bread that we're very familiar with, a bread that we saw being made on the first date here in Kabul. This is a yogurt that has garlic and mint. And then right here we have the masala tray. Right here we have dry green chilies. Right here we have red chilies. And right here we have dry grape. I'm told that when the grape is still small, before it's ripe, they dry it and they grind it up like this. It tastes something like between cumin and pomegranate. A very unique flavor. Something I've never even heard of before. It's a brand new spice. So let's get into it. Really, what people do here is they use their bread to strip off the meat. Fold it over. That's good. It's juicy, it's flavorful, but it's infused with spices too. My guess is that it's a bit cheaper because they can probably take all the undesirable parts of the cow, grind it up, and put it into a ball, and you'll never know what was in there. Pieces of armpit, crotch, elbow meat. Perhaps it's not those things, but let me tell you, even if that is crotch, that's some good crotch. Now here's the fun part. When you come to Afghanistan, they actually do have Coke and maybe even Pepsi too, but they have their own brands as well. Instead of Fanta, they have Magic. Instead of 7-Up, they have Breeze. Instead of Coca-Cola, they have, well, just cola. Moving on to our next kebab. This one I love because it's protein, fat, protein. Take a little bit of bread, rip the meat and fat inside. The bread is brilliant because it's so moist, it's so chewy. It's the perfect kind of comforting blanket to wrap around that meat. Meanwhile, the meat, this has been already heavily coated with seasoning, but the charcoal just brings out so much flavor. It's smoky. We have our last most expensive kebab, a kebab that you have to be careful with because this kebab has bones. Hit it with some yogurt and throw it back. It's unreal. This one has that same smoky goodness, but you can really taste the mutton, the sheepiness of it, and I love that flavor. I'm told that if there are some people who are working nearby here, they will actually potentially come here every day of the week for lunch. People just don't get sick of this food. I don't know, in the US, it's like, do you want Chinese? We had Chinese yesterday. I don't think it's like that here. It's like, hey, do you want Afghan? They're like, yes, the end. I'm curious about this because they felt it necessary to keep this bone on here. It looks like it might be rib meat. Smoky, fatty, a much better texture, a much more meaty bite. It's just so delicious.
We're just one step away from tasting Afghanistan's most exclusive dish. But first, a restaurant frozen in time, its menu, an archive of recipes that go back generations.
Right behind me, our next location. In the chaos that is Kabul, this place is a diamond in the rough. Right now we're inside a square that's famous for selling carpet. The owner of this restaurant and his investor buddies own this entire square. Now, the restaurant owner, he was in the antique business for 60 to 70 years, but now he's jammed all those antiques into this restaurant, and for the last 2 years, he's been serving a special type of regional Afghan cuisine. Let's go inside now and take a look. Right now we're in the dining room, which doubles as a showroom for all the antiques that this man has collected over the years. And right now, he's gonna give me a tour.
This is an antique Afghan tool meant for taking sheep's wool and turning it into carpet. This is 80 years old, meant simply for washing hands.
Oh, so now he's lighting something that looks like an ancient bong. Or maybe it's for incense?
It's a lamp, 100 years old.
Oh, you want me to sit here? All right. Please don't break, don't break, don't break. He said that this is 125 years old and the actual seat is made of braided sheep's intestines. He says it's for kings. Maybe for very tall kings. I feel like I would be a bit more insecure. If I was a king, I would need a bit taller chair. Is this from an animal in Afghanistan?
Yes. That is leopard skin from a leopard that was hunted here in Afghanistan.
That's wild. That's something you don't see every day. And that is something you don't want to get caught with in customs. All right, so those are the antiques, but what about the food?
In Central Asia, Afghanistan has many neighbors, one of them being Uzbekistan to the north. Not so far from the Uzbek border, you'll find the Afghan Uzbeks, a people whose nomadic cuisine we're about to witness. Like this, a dish showcasing a local ingredient known as gruti. In nearby Iran, they call it kash.
This is made by straining yogurt and drying the remaining curds. They are super hard and they're very cheesy. I mean, it is dairy after all. Wow. The flavor. It's sour, it tastes fermented, it's chalky, it's sheepy, it's got some gaminess to it. It's very intense. But you have to understand, this is like pure concentrated flavor, and this is gonna become the base for our first dish.
First, the kuruti is soaked in water for 2 days to rehydrate. Then it's placed in a traditional clay bowl, designed specifically for the task of turning this dried yogurt into a silky liquid.
This is a traditional Afghan clay bowl with all these divots put in here to create a bit of friction when you put a kash inside.
Next, strain and remove the excess bits of hard dairy. This white liquid is then simmered in a pan with oil. Meanwhile, onions are caramelized and eggs are fried. Trust me, this is all gonna come together soon. In a serving bowl, bread is torn into pieces, creating a foundation for this dish. Then comes walnuts, that warm yogurt sauce, sweet onions, and finally, the fried eggs on top.
For all that you see here, it's only $5.60. Now, we're gonna be getting something more substantial after this, but still, the price is crazy. I'm gonna start from the top. An egg. It's a good egg. Here's what happens when you pull it out. It's like this white caked mixture that's absorbed into the bread, making the bread saturated, pasty, and soggy. Oh, it's so chalky, it's so strange. I want to love you, but it's hard. When it comes to the gruti, it's chalky, it tastes a little bit cheesy, and it certainly has kind of a yogurty dairy flavor to it. It's not even like I'm trying to figure out if I love or hate it. I'm just trying to understand it. I'm gonna dig even deeper. Got the bread, we've got walnuts inside, we've got that onion. How about some egg on top? I like that. All these ingredients are really meant to be mixed and to mingle together. It's very satisfying. It's a great mix. I just find it so hard to believe that like there's this topping and then it's just this. What a wild dish. My daughter would absolutely love eating this though. The way you can just eat it with your hands, I feel like a big kid. But that is the traditional way here. So this is $5.60, but from here we're stepping up to something even more expensive. Let's get into it. All right, folks, our next dish has begun, and the chef right here, I should say the butcher, is gonna take it apart for us. Today, he's gonna be making a meat dish that weighs 3 kilograms or 6.6 pounds of a sheep. This guy's mean with the cleaver. We got a hamstring, we got a nice rack of ribs right here, and then here, a smaller rack of ribs. So far, he's been eyeballing all the meat. Let's see how much it really weighs. How good is he? He's going for 3 kilograms. Dude! You shake my dirty hand. Yes. That's awesome. 3 kilograms exactly, 6.6 pounds. He's at the top of his game. This is his prime. It's only downhill from here. How could he ever do that again? All of this is for a dish called kawardok. This is an Uzbek-inspired dish. But listen, even though it's Uzbek-inspired, it's inspired by the Uzbek Afghan people of this country, much like the other food they're serving in this restaurant.
In a pressure cooker, the chef starts with oil, then drops in over 6 pounds of lamb, bone in and full of flavor. Now garlic, onions, salt, a splash of water. Then it's sealed and left to cook until the meat is soft and tender. To finish it off, a handful of fried chilies on top.
This is a traditional nomadic hut that folks lived in the past in the north of Afghanistan. But here's the other thing that I find fascinating about this restaurant. This is the first restaurant where I've seen women.
In Afghanistan, women face a long list of restrictions, one of them being a ban on dining out without a male guardian.
And here's how I think they get away with it. On this property, there are about 5 different huts like this. So a man can come with his wife and their kids, and they can eat privately away from all the other guests in the hut. You see, oftentimes in Afghanistan, someone might want to do something, but they can't because of the rules and because of everybody who's watching them. A great example is I met a British woman and her daughter the other day. I asked her if I could take a picture of her, and she said, no, I can't. And she looked around and she said it's against the rules. Now, maybe privately it would be fine, but out in the public view, not okay. The total price for everything I'm eating today, over 6 pounds of meat, is $33. Ooh, some delicious leg meat. Oh yeah, soft and succulent, seasoned beautifully. Such a good flavor. It's mutton, but it's not gamey. Oh, right here, take a look at that. A nice big bone with some meat sticking to it still. Oh. It's so rich, it's glistening, it's so full of flavor, very fatty and very delicious. To go with it, to wash it down, they've got this. A glass of white something. It's gonna be some kind of yogurt-based drink, probably. Oh yeah, pure yogurt with a little bit of mint. Finally, I wanna work my way up to this, the ribs. Let's split these 2 ribs apart and then pull off that rib meat. Every section of the lamb, a little bit different texture, different amount of juiciness, but every bite is super satisfying. In a moment, we're gonna be going to the most expensive restaurant we could find here in Kabul. But first, I wanna talk about how much money folks actually make here in Afghanistan. The average monthly wage is only $200 a month. That means an annual salary is $2,460. In contrast, the average salary in the USA would be about $66,000, about 25 times more than here in Afghanistan. After hearing that, it's easy to understand why food and why so many other things here are so much cheaper than in other countries. So what are folks here doing for work? It's estimated that 60 to 80% of the population works in agriculture. So all of that is to say that even if you went to a restaurant where something cost $50 to $100, that would be absolutely insane here. With that said, we are now headed to the most expensive restaurant we could find in Afghanistan. We have come to our 4th and final location, a restaurant known as Ziafat. Also, as you can tell behind me, they have some very strong security. They're not just letting in any riffraff off the street.
Walking past a fully armed guard just to get into a restaurant is strange enough. But what happens next is completely surreal.
Sorry.
As I stood by the reception counter,
The gentleman is being returned his gun right now.
another guest was handed back his assault rifle, just like it was a coat or a car key.
Very cool.
I guess here, lunch doesn't end with dessert, it ends with artillery.
Moving on, let's talk about the food. This restaurant is on a different level than every other place we've seen so far in Kabul. Plus, there are so many foods here. They have breakfast, soup, salad, starters, Mughlai food, which I say is a combination of Indian and Pakistani food. Everything from mutton karahi to Hyderabadi mutton handi. Then they have Thai and Chinese cuisine, chicken cashew nut, chicken chow mein, and more. Now, before we talk about the most expensive thing, I should point out that not everything in here is crazy expensive. For example, we're gonna be trying this, manto, $4.50. It's not exclusively the top 0.1% that can eat here, it's the full 1%. So I don't want people to feel excluded. The most expensive thing I can find on this menu is right here. It's called the Ziafat Special Barbecue Platter. It has salads, it has soups, it has kebabs, and all of that for $341. But before I show you this, I want to show you the rest of the restaurant because it is massive. Let's move.
Built at a cost of $2.5 million.
Everything is golden, there are chandeliers everywhere.
Ziafat restaurant can hold up to 800 guests at once.
This is the waiting area. You can sit here and they'll call you when everything is ready. Let's head up. Hello, nice to meet you. This restaurant has 3 floors of dining. Right here in this corridor, there are private rooms. Let me show you one of them right now. And here, this is where you and 10 of your best friends can enjoy some dang good food. If the private room isn't really your style, this is the public room, a public room meant for men. They also have a room meant for families, but we cannot film that because of the ladies.
With a 250-person team running the show around the clock, it stays open 24/7, serving over 200 dishes day in and day out.
This is my favorite part because you come to Afghanistan and you think, what? No bars. No, they got bars. They just don't have booze. What you got? Pina colada? More like nada. Mojito? More like no hito. Margarita? More like, no, okay, I'm good. All right, right now we are headed into the kitchen. Come with me and let's take a look. This place is wild.
Most restaurants have stations for grilling,
Where do I begin?
frying, and definitely microwaving.
Let's go this way.
But here,
Hello.
they have cooking stations for cuisines from around the world.
Right here, this is the Palau corner. All of these are giant vessels known as a deg. Can we open it up? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Right in here, we have the kebab section. Right now, my guy is skewering kebabs as we speak, but over here, you can actually see the kebabs grilling over charcoal. It looks amazing. Here is the bread making room, and they have tons of bread making stations. He takes his dough pillow, he reaches inside, he slaps it on the wall. Nice. Beyond the main kitchen, this place also has an electric pizza oven with a pizza coming out right now. And beyond that, they also have a brick pizza oven. If you want to get anything on their menu, you can, and you can have it delivered to your house. Pretty sweet.
After touring the kitchen, I'm presented with an Afghan appetizer. Steamed dumplings stuffed with beef and vegetables, topped with a bold sauce made from tomato, chili powder, black pepper, and dal. Finally, some sour cream is drizzled on top.
What's fun about coming to this restaurant is I get to try the most expensive version of a food in this country, but I also already tried the cheapest version of this food in a previous video. It was less than 50 cents for a huge order. It was stuffed not with meat, but with onions. And then take a look at this. Gorgeous, I gotta say. Very beautiful. I'm impressed. A very different experience, my God. First of all, meat makes a huge difference. It's full of animal fat, and the animal fats leak out and pass their flavor onto every other part of the dumpling. The wrapper is delicious, it has some bite to it, and that sour cream helps cool everything down and balance that spicy dal.
From one of the most affordable bites on the menu, we jump straight into the most expensive. This is the Ziyafat Special Barbecue Platter. An opulent platter that begins with a trio of rice. First biryani, then Kabuli palau, and last mandi. Then comes the meat, mountains of it. Malai booty, chicken tikka booty, Afghan shami, chicken seekh kebab, mutton booty, tandoori fish tikka, tandoori chicken booty, Lahore beef chops, dynamite sticks, prawns, and even honey-glazed chicken wings, crispy fried fish, spring rolls, and just when you think it should stop, it just keeps going.
The building of this meat structure is continuing. Now he's putting on mozari kebab. These are very exotic kebabs. I've never even heard of half of these. Coming up next, he tops all this meat with an entire grilled chicken. Oh my God. A mutton leg, the leg of a sheep. Just that would be a meal in itself. It's time to hang up the meat like it's Christmas. We have quails. We have the pomfret fish. More quails. More pomfret. Then another pomfret. We have the fluorescent bright red chicken tandoori booty. I've always been a booty fan, but now even more. Now it's time to garnish cucumber, some carrots, some lemons, dressing it up. No more meat? Aww. The meat's done already. They only put on every species in Afghanistan plus 17 that were imported. This is a meal meant to feed, I don't know, 10 to 20 different people. But tonight, it's just me and you, baby. Right now, I'm following this meat journey to its final destination. It only takes 2 men, but 2 men with fierce focus and concentration. They have a food elevator, but they're taking the stairs. No! Oh no, no, I got it. Hey. Let's do this. They're gonna go through this room. Right here, this is the final spot. Nailed it. And I was worried they're gonna drop it. Oh wait. Every single kebab that they sell in this restaurant is here. If you're somebody who can't really choose, here you go. $341.41. But first, this needs to be replaced. This is kind of like a knighting ceremony in the UK. Here you go. That booty fell on the floor, so they gave me a new booty. By the way, I learned a new word. Booty. Evidently it's a Pakistani word for meat or meat skewer, something like that. I'm gonna pull that booty meat off. It looks soft and tender. It looks like thigh meat. Outstanding. Moist, juicy chicken. Take a look at this. Quail. Little baby birds. Peel out some of that quail breast. It's a little dry. The quail is nice, but it's not very substantial. It's tiny little bites. There's some nice masala, but I'm looking for something a little bit more. This is an entire leg of mutton. I would love to see any kind of food challenge type YouTuber come here and attempt to eat all this food. Super juicy with a strong taste of mutton. I'm gonna put this to the side and keep digging downwards. An entire freaking chicken. Look at, oh boy, oh no. All right, we've all had chicken before. Let me put that to the side for now. Let's take a look at this. This is crispy fried fish, I'm told. Oh, it's so crunchy. Any of these one food items on their own would be plenty good. Oh boy, where do I go? Can I be honest, guys? I'm not gonna finish this. I'm not coming close. In this area, I believe we had a chicken sheikh kebab. I'm gonna take a little bit of yogurt on the side, give it a little bit of a dip. Oh man. Super fatty, juicy, and infused with so many spices. They call this dynamite. This is a chicken drumstick. Oh yeah, that is some nice dark meat. Well-seasoned masala, absolutely delicious. Wings, they even just have straight up wings. That's good. It's nice and crispy on the outside, and then it's just covered with a honey barbecue. I've got maybe 1 or 2 meats left inside me. This is a biryani. I gotta say, I'm overwhelmed. I think I'm done. Here's the thing. I didn't really come here and order this to eat this in order to do some kind of a fun, silly YouTube challenge with you guys. I really just wanted to show you what this country is capable of. I think most people in the USA, they have a certain clear image burned into their mind of what Afghanistan is. And this place and food like this, it kind of destroys that idea.
This video is not meant to convince you that Afghanistan is good. In many, many ways, it is not. But it's also not meant to convince you it's bad. This country cannot be boiled down to a couple simple truths. Afghanistan is a dictatorship, a theocracy, a country ruled by harsh Sharia law. But it's also restaurant owners doing their best. It's construction workers looking for a quick bite of something to feed their soul. It's history's caretakers, trying to preserve a piece of this country's heritage. It's young service staff, finding ways to grow in a place with limited opportunities.
Afghanistan is a lot of things, but it's not just one thing. And my takeaway after everything I've experienced today is that this place is complicated and that this food is delicious. I gotta say, I love it.
Before I leave this country, I intend on leaving Kabul and heading east, across one of the most dangerous roads in the world.
As beautiful as it is here, we have now entered the most dangerous part of this road.
Treacherous cliffs.
There are giant stones in the street.
Endless Taliban checkpoints. And a journey few foreigners would dare to make.
If I'm being honest, I'm kind of pissed at myself right now.
So what would make me risk it all? The perfect bite.
It's so heavy, it's so indulgent, I love it.
A food you'll only find in the city of Jalalabad. As soon as the sun lights the sky, we're en route to our destination, aiming to arrive before dusk. No time for breakfast, just getting out of Kabul fast. If we're lucky, we'll slow roll through the many coming checkpoints like this one. If we're not lucky, we get stopped.
Is it a checkpoint?
Passports handed over, and everything searched thoroughly. Jalalabad isn't Kabul. You go there because this is the only place you'll find fat, dripping chapli kebabs, or karahi, stirred in deep, red-hot cooking pots. And that, I hope, makes this journey worth the risk.
As beautiful as it is here, we have now entered the most dangerous part of this road. And it's dangerous because of that. Mudslides and rock slides coming down, hitting automobiles. There are giant stones in the street.
This is Tonga Garu, a narrow cut through the Hindu Kush Mountains. The road hugs the rock like it's barely welcome. On one side, a cliff wall. On the other, nothing. Here, beauty and danger ride side by side.
Can't trust a man 'cause he'll just let you down.
Convoys of colorfully painted trucks tilt around hairpin bends with inches to spare.
Dust we shall return.
Right now we've hit a bottleneck in the middle of this mountain pass, but take a look at this car in front of me. The Chicken Mobile. Talk about a chicken coupe de ville.
Wash me in the water and I'll never go back. Even when I'm walking through dayland paths.
From Kabul to Jalalabad, the mountains are low on my list of concerns.
All right, coming up on another checkpoint. There's a truck full of guys with guns.
Here, each checkpoint offers a nauseating dose of uncertainty. And just as you roll through one,
Another checkpoint, no issue.
it feels the next starts to come into view.
We've already gone through at least 10 different checkpoints.
As an outsider from the US, even with a proper shooting permit, there is no guarantee of safety. Tourists have been held before, sometimes for years, and some were never told why. So, it goes without saying that filming at checkpoints is out of the question. But really, what's the fun in traveling through Taliban territory if you're not going to document it?
We just made it through another checkpoint, absolutely in the middle of nowhere. You really take it for granted in the USA that you could just drive from New York to LA with no issue. But in countries like this, like when I was in Egypt, there's checkpoints everywhere. Sometimes they tell you to turn around. And here in Afghanistan, it's not much better. That said, so far, people just ask us a couple questions and we proceed, no issue. But it's always like that. There's no issue until it's an issue. Are we approaching a checkpoint?
My camera is ready. I rehearse my answers before they're asked and remind myself to act normal. Anything to not raise suspicion.
Set up.
We've just been given the signal.
Wanted to pull over? Oh boy.
This checkpoint is different from the others. More men, more uniforms, more rifles.
Hello.
A bearded Taliban soldier asks for my passport.
Passport.
I hear him go back and forth with my producer, the one from Iran. But I don't know what they're saying. Their tone could be good or it could be bad.
What's your name?
William.
Suddenly, the door cracks. They want us outside. I'm dying for a translation. But maybe something sensitive is going on. I should just be quiet, breathe, and keep my cool. I'm sure if there's something that I need to know, it will be told to me when I need to know it. But maybe the Taliban just saw my f***ing GoPro clearly pointing out the window. Because if that happens, because if they see it, if they review it, and if they know that I'm filming at a checkpoint, well, it doesn't matter about any permit. Because at that point, and this has been made abundantly clear to me by my local producer, if they see that I've filmed anything that resembles a military installation, well then I am 100% undeniably absolutely f***ed.
All right, if I'm being honest, I'm kind of pissing myself right now. Whew. We just pulled up to a checkpoint. They told us to pull over. There's like 7 guys there. They're all kitted out. They got like 2 rifles each and like 6 clips each. And they asked for my passport. I didn't know what's gonna happen. And then they go, yeah, let's take some pictures together.
Just like that, the air shifts. The same men who approached us with suspicion now stand beside us, cracking smiles, posing for photos with their rifles pushed just out of view. This country plays tricks with your mind, but it's on you to keep your mind in check.
Amir, what was that?
I don't know, you tell me. They get a bit skeptical in the beginning, like, who are you, what is in my country? But when you talk with them, they seem quite relaxed. I would take this job.
Yeah, super nice, I guess. Considering they could, shoot us in the head at any moment. All right, good times. Almost there. Welcome to Jalalabad. You're about to see something completely unprecedented. It's one of the reasons we drove all the way to the city. This is why I risked the lives of my camera guys.
Welcome to Adam Khan Chapli Kebab. This absolute specimen of a man is Adam. Chapli Kebab is a flat pan-fried kebab that comes from the Pashtun regions of Afghanistan and Pakistan. It's typically made with minced beef or lamb, but it's also mixed with tomatoes and green chilies. Then it's amped up with crushed coriander seeds, onions, garlic, and fresh herbs. All of it gets deep fried in hot oil until the edges crisp and the flavors lock in. And if you're like me, you'll opt for what I call Adam's creation.
This is a 3-pound kebab. It's so big it has its own zip code. And so does this guy.
His special kebab starts with eggs, cracked straight into the hot oil. Then they're mashed into the kebab meat mixture along with olives, cheese chunks, and of course, more meat. After being mixed and shaped by hand, these massive protein discs enter the sizzling station.
This is a monster. It's full of cheese, it's got olives, tomatoes, and fried eggs. It's gonna take a long time to make that crispy. Sir, well done. Maybe do some elbows. Boom. When I hear kebab, I usually think of a piece of meat on a skewer, but this is a beautiful creation. It's like God created Adam and Adam created this right here. So before we build our way up to this, let's start with the typical chapli kebab. I'm gonna just break it in half. And I'm told you're supposed to take a local traditional bread, grab a piece, and then you start to break off the meat. Let's give it a shot. Oh, that's satisfying. Crunchy on the outside, insanely soft and juicy on the inside, and full of spices. The next thing you're supposed to do is give it a little bit of a dip in the sauce right here. This is yogurt mixed with chilies and coriander. Oh yeah. Woo, fresh and spicy. The only thing that can cool me down is a delicious American Coca-Cola. Tastes like freedom. Now there's balance in the universe. From here, we're moving on to the special kebab, and this guy is special. Let me point out a couple things. First of all, there are olives speckled throughout, but these crusty parts, that is the cheese. They're using a type of local sour cheese that goes inside the kebab. When they fry it, that cheese becomes kind of golden brown like this. That's good. Cheesy, not sour. I'm told this comes from cow milk. I can see it now at the next state fair. Cheese from Afghanistan. People in the Midwest would go crazy for it. I think. Perhaps there could be better branding involved. I mean, look at that juiciness. I got my first big bite of special kebab. Let's toss it back. Just like Adam, it's bigger, but it just means there's more to love. Hey, listen, Adam's got to be about 400 pounds. I used to be 300 pounds, so as a former large man, I can point these things out. The main base flavor is the same, but you're just getting little extra special notes. You're getting that crunchy cheese. You're getting some sour olives. You're getting bits of extremely fried egg. It's so heavy. It's so indulgent. I love it. Can I tell you, 1 hour ago, the Taliban was at my window asking me for my passport. I was terrified. I was almost peeing my pants, but it was all worth it for this moment right here. Coming to the city, it already feels completely different. First of all, we have gone down in elevation. It is extremely hot here. Right now it's about 90 degrees. It's very dry. The streets are chaotic. It's loud. It's like an attack on your senses as soon as you get here.
In the capital city of Kabul, you can taste all the recipes of Afghanistan. In Jalalabad, you can taste where those recipes were born. Here, when the sun goes down, that's when the city starts to cook. And at the center of it all is Karahi.
Welcome to Jalalabad after dark. Right now we are in a Shinvari Karahi restaurant. If you're wondering what's on the menu, well, it's hanging up right over there. What I love about this place is you just point to the animal body part that you want to eat, you give it to this guy, and he will chop it up into little bitty pieces like this right here. From here, we're going to see how they cook it up. Let's get to it.
Born from the Shinwari tribe of eastern Afghanistan and Pakistan, this is Karahi stripped down to its essence. No elaborate spice blends, just fire, fat, and instinct. Fresh chunks of lamb hit the cauldron, followed by salt, oil, and in goes the water. No rush, no shortcuts, just steel, oil, and heat. Then tomatoes join in, and green chilies. The result? Tender, spicy meat bathed in its own thick, bubbling gravy. Joining me this evening, the first Afghan local I've sat down with since this trip began 5 days ago.
Khalil, put her there.
Welcome to Afghanistan.
Thank you for joining me. Part of my journey coming to Afghanistan is to try to see the country through people's eyes here and not just through my own bias.
Yes.
First, I have a strange question. The guns. It's been wild for me. You know, it's one thing to see security or people on the street, but then I went to a fancy bougie restaurant yesterday and a guy literally had checked in his rifle at reception and was leaving and they gave it back to him.
Yeah.
To me, it feels like being on another planet. It's so different.
No, it's common here. We don't see it as a dangerous thing. From centuries, keeping guns are very much in the part of the culture. There's a famous saying in Afghanistan that gun is the jewel of the men. So it's like a jewelry for them.
Well, it's interesting to hear then that for folks here, they're used to it. Second, food. This looks amazing.
Yeah.
It's very cool to see the butcher butchering, but then the cooking takes a long time, about an hour total.
It has to be soft, it has to be juicy.
Oh, this looks good. And it feels soft. I can already feel it on my fingers. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's awesome. The meat is so soft, it's incredibly tender. It's also got some kick. It's got a little spice to it.
Let's do the shanks. This is the best part.
That does look pretty dang nice. I'm gonna eat it just like a piece of corn. Is that the right way?
Anyway, it's the right way.
Let's go for it. There's something different.
It's gluey.
Oh yeah.
Because of all the tendons inside it. Other meats would not have this.
It's sticky. It also feels like the muscle fibers are almost smaller or finer, creating a more dense texture when you eat it.
And completely changes the flavor.
Oh, it's really satisfying. I have a whole new appreciation for shank. What about these big pieces of fat? Are you just eating pure fat?
You enjoy that a lot.
Show me how it's done.
Grab some fat and you grab a nice piece of meat with it, and then we'll have it with the dip also. It has fresh yogurt, so it'll cool down.
Are you sure? Because half the yogurt in this country has chilies in it. I think it's gonna cool me down and it heats me up. There's no question, there's a giant piece of fat in my mouth right now. It is rich. Is that dumba?
Dumba.
So we're eating just a pure sheep ass fat. Now I kind of like it.
Yeah.
When you think about it that way.
Animal fat is loved in my country.
That's really good. When I was in Lahore in Pakistan years ago, I tried the same thing.
Must have been very spicy.
More spices for sure, and spicy.
A lot of Indian and Pakistani influence would add more spices and stuff into it. We want the authenticity of the meat because we are very picky with the meat that we choose for it. So we have to feel the taste of the meat.
So you think folks here in Afghanistan are more picky than folks in Pakistan?
It's about the taste. They love that taste, we love this taste.
That was good. I was really trying to bait you. Well done.
No.
I feel like Afghanistan gets lost between its neighbors sometimes. You have Iran to the west, and their food is very known around the world. You have Pakistan on the east, and their food is very known around the world. Then you have Afghanistan in the middle. What is Afghanistan known for?
Number one, Kabuli pulao. I know pulao is the national food of Uzbekistan, but Kabuli pulao is something that has been known for many years for Afghanistan. Second is the meats, all the rita kebab that you had, or these karais, all these things, they are very different from others. As we are in the middle of the Asia, we are in the middle of the taste also. So you go to Iran, you will say much more less flavors. Pakistan is more towards extreme, towards India, and Afghanistan is the balance.
Right here is the sweet spot.
And one thing about Afghanistani food is that it has stayed authentic throughout the history. Afghans do not like to innovate so much. The recipes that you're trying, they are for the centuries that they are going in the same way. We don't even want to change the spices that we put inside. We love to keep the authenticity for many years.
Tomorrow morning, we're gonna do something completely different than anything I've done so far in Afghanistan. Because I've seen a lot of the cities. It's chaotic, it's hectic, but tomorrow we're going into the countryside. What should I expect?
I don't want to ruin the surprise. Tomorrow you will see.
I can't wait.
The next morning, we leave Jalalabad behind. Roughly an hour and a half south, off the main roads, up into the mountains. It's remote, quiet, tucked in close to the border with Pakistan. Out here, the pace of life slows down, the kind of slow that for a second makes you think they're doing something right. Fields appear, kids wave, women work in the soil, goats cross the road, and mountains rise around us. Before I know it, we've arrived.
Ever since we landed in Kabul, I couldn't wait to get out of the city. Cities bring out the worst in people, but places like this in the countryside, this is where you get to the real root of the culture. And here, it's all about agriculture and these guys. And today, this guy is on the menu.
In Afghanistan, like many Muslim countries, slaughtering an animal is more than just a part of food prep. It's a religious ritual. Prayers are said. The animal faces Mecca. The process is done swiftly and all the blood is drained.
It's a common belief in Afghanistan that some people have heavy hands or light hands. So light hands are the people who would slaughter the sheep, but the sheep will kick so much and it will pump all the blood outside, which is very necessary because the more blood comes out, the more the meat would be better.
The butchering begins and it's clear this isn't their first time. Each person moves with purpose. First, the skinning. Fast, precise, and efficient.
So as you can see, he's blowing air inside the skin to detach the skin from the muscles. It will be easy to skin it.
And does it make the balls puff up too?
Yeah.
As they break down the sheep here, we have one of the most prized parts of this animal right here, the testicles. Now you can see that old expression, stop breaking my balls. Well, that's what he's done already here. There's no coming back from that. These are going to be turned into testicle kebabs. I think it's a part that people fight over because with each sheep, there's only 2. Unless you get one of those magical sheep that has 3, like me. I mean, what?
Next, the meat, chopped up section by section. One thing I've learned after years of traveling the world for food is that village feasts are time-consuming. You'll never see an appetizer on the final table because the real appetizers are consumed while you wait. Today's starter, this beauty right here.
This is called the patadana, means pieces of liver hidden inside the stomach fat. Perfect combination.
Yeah.
No marinade, no seasoning. The liver and kidneys are boiled and chopped into bite-sized pieces, then wrapped in the sheep's own caul fat. To hold it all together, matchsticks.
We might get some notes of sulfur in there too.
Then into the hot oil they go, sizzling until golden.
The best part is we're in Afghanistan. We know these sheep did not drink at all. It's a pristine liver.
Fresh.
Cheers. Or I think just the liver alone is very dry.
The fat provides that lubricant that you need.
It's not just a lubricant. There is so much flavor in that fat too. I mean, of course, it's very sheepy. It's a bit gamey, but those two together, it's a good tag team.
Try one with the domba fat.
All right, so this is the pure butt fat from the sheep mixed with liver. Cheers.
Yeah, it should be different.
That's surprisingly good. It's got some body to it. You know, the fat, a lot of the oils have kind of cooked out of it, so it's a little bit more solid. Every time I've had this, it's been in a Muslim country. I've had something similar in Uzbekistan, in Morocco recently. I'm understanding it more and more. I think liver can usually be kind of dry, and that's why in some places, like in Africa with the Maasai tribe, you know, they take the liver out, they just eat it raw.
Raw.
Not dry.
Yeah.
Would you ever eat a liver raw?
It's haram.
I'm kind of blown away coming here because, again, I had this image of Afghanistan in my mind before coming here that's being continuously reshaped and reformed the more places I travel and the more people I meet. And I just pictured a lot more rubble, smaller, shorter buildings, dry areas, arid desert, rocky mountains, but I can't believe how lush and beautiful it is out here.
Beautiful it is.
The local houses that you see here, are these still made this way today?
Yeah, even now. They're made from clay because the clay is very cold in nature, so it helps them comfort in the summer seasons, and in the winters it provides them with the heat.
And what is everybody doing out here for work?
Mainly it's agriculture. They are locally sourced, locally made. Wheat, sugar cans, corn, these are the common crops here. This is the side of Afghanistan nobody knew before. It's green, it's beautiful. People are so welcoming and nice. They're very hospitable. They love foreigners. They love lambs. They cook it very different, and we're going to experience it today.
The kitchen is dug up, the fire's built, time to get serious. Our main course today, 2 heavy hitters. First up, a braise. Big chunks of meat and fat go into a wide pot. Add salt, garlic powder, and that's it. Once the meat starts sizzling, in goes the water. Lid on tight and weighed down with whatever you can find. Next up, the kebab. Most of the prized cuts end up here. Ribs, tenderloin, maybe a bit of shoulder. And yes, the testicles too. Everything gets skewered with chunks of fat, sprinkled with salt and garlic powder, then straight to the fire.
This looks gorgeous. I didn't expect to come to the countryside and see such a organized display of kebabs here in the village, because I would assume they would just put random little pieces of meat onto each kebab, but it's organized by body part. I see testicles over here. I see some of the shanks over here. I see ribs over here. It's so organized.
Yes, they do it very frequently here, so the practice is so common.
It might look simple, but I've been told this is just step 1 of the kebab cooking process. There's more to come, and while we wait, we're rewarded for our patience.
If you're in a village setting like this, do you have to be an alpha male in order to eat the testicles?
Mostly the people who are a bit elder, they would want to eat these things because it's good for their power and everything.
What do you mean by power?
Have better kids, stronger kids.
Does anybody have a problem having kids in Afghanistan?
Not really, but we tend to have more kids because we believe that Allah take care of their food and stuff. We don't need to worry about them.
The average family has how many kids?
More than 5 kids.
Well, to Allah.
Yeah.
I have 1 kid now, and I would like to have another one.
Maybe this will help you.
Exactly. Let's get to it. I love that this is your first time trying it.
I always wanted to try, but I never got the courage to try it, and this is the right moment.
Okay, I want you to harness the fierce nature of your people and the history of your people, and not think twice. Just move forward and enjoy.
So Bismillah to this.
Bismillah. That's good.
Why does it taste like fat so much?
Well, it is a very fatty organ.
But it's not like completely fat. It's not a muscle.
Exactly. It's better than fat. It's not so overwhelmingly rich. It has its own texture. It's a texture unlike any other part of the body.
A little bit of creamy flavor.
Sure.
I don't know why.
Well, you do know why.
Yeah.
You know. Beyond that, the flavor is very smoky because from the charcoal.
It's a perfect combination.
I'm feeling the magic coursing through my veins. I just gotta go find my wife. And she is not at the hotel.
Now comes the final step of the kebab cooking process, steaming. The grilled kebabs are slid off the skewers into a giant pot.
What is the purpose of putting it on a kebab over charcoal and then steaming it after?
That's the beauty of it. They would just give it color and it will still be a bit hard. There it will get soft, juicy, and very much unique in flavor.
Dough is kneaded and pressed along the rim to prevent any heat from escaping. Water goes in, then garlic and green chilies. The lid is clamped down. Coals piled on top, and the result is a pressure cooker built by hand.
Gentlemen, thank you for having me here. We feel very welcome and privileged to be able to join you in a part of Afghanistan very few people have seen before, so thank you so much. So do people pray?
Normally no, but when they're done, they pray.
Oh, that's different. You know, I grew up Christian, praying before the meal, but you're so hungry. I can't focus on my prayer. My hands are shaking. I have low blood sugar. I like after.
After is when your belly is full, you thank God for what He's given.
We have 2 very unique dishes, but I think we should start with this. This is a very simple preparation.
The local word for this is ladeli. Ladeli means something that is mixed up so much. You would be surprised to see how chewy and how gluey it is.
Bread?
Bread is must. If you do it without bread, you can be arrested for it.
Laws are pretty strict here. Wow. The bread is so chewy, but so delicious. The meat itself is so soft.
It's very soft and tender.
I like that you keep using that word gluey. It becomes sticky from the tendons, from the fat, and all the joints, all of it breaking down. But really, the magic here, the key, is getting in deep and dipping it into that fatty sauce.
It's just not oil, it's a gluey thing from the tendons.
It doesn't need to be dressed up. You don't need to mask the flavors. Just a little bit of salt really brings out the natural flavor, and that's all you need. This dish looks very unique. I love the preparation because I'm very familiar with kebabs, but I've never seen somebody make a kebab, then put it into a pot to steam it, let alone kind of an ancient style pressure cooker. I mean, the color is completely different. And this color is much more seductive.
Yeah.
It's enticing, it's drawing me in. What piece should we try first?
Always go for the shank first.
I mean, this looks gorgeous. Cheers. I found the bone. Oh man.
You see now what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
If it was just barbecue, it wouldn't be this soft and this gluey.
Yeah, it would be drier, but if it was just steamed, it wouldn't have this incredible smoke. The flavor is just taking on so much of that charcoal, smoky flavor.
Yes, and the steam has added to the hydration of the meat.
That is fascinating. I can't believe I haven't seen that anywhere else in the world, but now I totally understand it as I try it. It's the best aspects of grilling over charcoal mixed with the best aspects of steaming. These guys know what they're doing, and they do it with love. They're not trying to rush it, they're trying to make it perfect.
We rushed them a lot, but they were not in rush.
Yeah. What is it that makes you so passionate about your country's food?
Honestly, because I've been a refugee for almost all of my life. I was born in Pakistan, I was raised in Pakistan, and I was blown away by the food that I was missing so much. And I loved the taste, the flavors, the balance, the techniques that they cook it. Very simple, very authentic, very old, yet very tasty.
Beyond the food, I do want to ask you some other questions about Afghanistan. How do you think Americans and others outside of Afghanistan perceive your country?
From the media perspective, they see Afghanistan as a very dried, old, ancient land, and these people have war, and they think it's happening all the time, 24/7, everywhere. But as you can see, right now, countries in the peaceful state, everywhere you can travel, you can enjoy anything that you want. You can see that people here know how to live. They enjoy, they feast, they have good moments, they are very friendly people. They love the outside world people to come and welcome them with open arms.
What is your hope for the future of Afghanistan?
My hope for the future of Afghanistan is long-lasting peace, acceptance, getting to know us, accept us in the way we are, do not try to change us. We are as we are.
Afghanistan. The kindness, the hospitality, the pride, the side that rarely makes it to mainstream media.
Thank you, sir.
Even just for a moment, these things are undeniably real. But as I sit and listen, nodding along, I can't ignore the weight beneath it all. There are questions I want to ask, and I can't. Questions about fear, about women, about what freedom really looks like here. Instead, I smile, and I hold those questions quietly, somewhere between gratitude and grief. Because in the end, this series isn't about promoting this country. It's not even about offering answers. It's about showing the reality. And the rest, that's up to you.
The beginning of this trip was so different from the end. This place, it is complicated, it is confusing. On one hand, it was very different from what I expected, but then on the other hand, it was a lot of what I did expect. This place, it's run by the Taliban. We know who that is. There are guys with guns all over the place. There are checkpoints. The country is very militarized. But I think when you come to a place like this, you have to try to separate that from the people. And I think that's a reasonable and fair thing to do, because some of the nicest people I've ever met anywhere are here in this country. So wrapping up a series like this is tough, because there is no nice little bow that you can wrap on this package. There's a lot of issues here. But I hope this video can show that it's a lot more gray and it's not so black and white. As I've been saying, Afghanistan is many things, but it's not just one thing. And perhaps it won't make sense to you until you see it for yourself. Good luck. All right, guys, before we go, I want to say a huge thank you to this guy, because without him, this trip would not have happened. His name is Amir, and you might recognize him as the local producer who helped me when I went to Iran a few years ago. He came here and he did the impossible, which was get us actual legitimate filming permits in this country. If you guys are interested in working with Amir either in Afghanistan or perhaps even more likely Iran, you can contact him. His Instagram is right here on the screen right now. Go give him a follow or reach out to him. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We did it.
We did it. I kind of can't believe it. All right, let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Because actually, the trip ain't done till we're wheels up in the air. So.
We actually really have to go. It might rain now.
Okay, let's move.